guys, welcome to Zane's Gaming and More. This is week 2 of Zane's NFL picks. First, we will be going over my results for week 1, and then I'll bring my dad on so we can go over my predictions for week 2. So, without further ado, let's get started. My overall results for my predictions were 11 wins and 5 losses. My losses were Eagles at Falcons. I thought the Falcons would win, but the Eagles ended up winning with a score of 32-6. Next, I got wrong. Steelers at Bills. I thought the Bills would win, but the Steelers won at 23-16. Now, this prediction was kind of a high score. It was 49ers at Lions. I thought the Lions would win, but the 49ers won with a score of 41-33. Next, the Jaguars at Texans. I thought the Jaguars would win, but the Texans won at 37-21. And for the final one was Monday Night Football. Ravens at Raiders. I thought the Ravens would win, but the Raiders won at 33-27. So now I will bring my dad on, and we will go over my predictions for this week.
All right, Zane, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Now, we already did have one prediction for this week, and that was your Thursday night football game, which you had I believe you picked the Giants over the Washington football team. Is that correct?
Yes.
And the results in that one, unfortunately, we are starting off week 2 with a loss. So you lost that one, but it was a very, very close game.
Yeah.
And the Washington football team actually missed the game-winning field goal, but because of a penalty, they got to try it again. So it was a very close one. Otherwise, you would have started off with 2-0. But again, this is Zane's NFL picks over on Zane's Gaming and More. We are being broadcast on Facebook, Twitter, my Twitter, because Zane's too young to have a Twitter, and then my YouTube, because we can't do live to Zane's YouTube, so I'll download the recording and put it onto his YouTube. But be sure to give his channel a like and subscribe. Again, that's Zane's Gaming and More. And if you'd like to join in on the fun with us, please feel free to comment your predictions as we go. So, with that said, Zane, are you ready for week 2?
Yes.
All right, in the first game here, we have the Bengals versus the Bears. Who are you choosing?
I said the Bengals would win. I should have written down, the scores, but I think it was because the Bengals had 1-0 and the Bears had 0-0. So, I think the first 3 I just did because it was obvious.
Gotcha. You know, I'm going to pick the Bears on this one for me.
Really?
Just I have a feeling because the Bears are at home that they're gonna pull this one out. Up next is the Houston Texans taking on the Cleveland Browns.
So, again, this is one where the Texans had 1-0 and the Browns had 0-0. So I just said Texans based on the scores for last week.
So you're taking on the Texans. I'm actually going to say the Browns because the Browns put up a really, really good fight against the Chiefs last week. And looks like Mom is saying the Browns as well. So up next, we have the Rams traveling across country to Indianapolis. Who are you picking in this one?
I said Rams. This is the final, obvious one for me. And then the rest I had to, really think.
You know, I'm going to pick the Rams as well, only because the Seahawks took care of business against the Colts last week pretty easily, and the Rams had a good game against the Bears last week, so it shouldn't be a difficult game for them. Up next is the Bills versus Dolphins.
I said Dolphins because the Dolphins... Wait, I gotta look up my scores.
Oh, no.
This was also one of the obvious ones because Dolphins won in a match last week, but the Bills lost in a match last week.
You know, and I'm going to go against you. I'm going to be picking the Bills this week, and the Bills came off a tough loss, but I think they're going to have enough to beat the the Dolphins. Before we
Yeah.
move on to our next game here, just want to remind everybody that this is week 2 of Zane's NFL picks.
Yes.
Zane's been doing these NFL picks for, I believe, 4 years now.
4?
And in that time, 3 or 4 years, I can't remember. In that time, Zane is actually the one doing all of his research.
Yes.
He comes in and he tries to ask me what I think, and I tell him every single time, I go, "That's up to you." And this is all his doing. We do have a couple comments. Let's see. Brandy is saying that she is with Zane with the Dolphins, and then we have a very, very special guest saying hello, and that is one Sue Laws. Zane, can you give a shout out to Sue Laws?
Yeah, Sue Laws!
There we go. There is the Sue Laws shout out. The next game, we do have the Patriots going against the Jets. Who are we picking in this one?
So, Patriots, they lost last week, I believe. Yeah, the Patriots lost last week.
As they should.
But, yeah. But also the Jets lost last week. But this one was easy because Patriots suck.
Oh,
No
well,
offense, but Patriots suck.
So you're going to take the Jets on this one?
Yeah.
And I'm going to use my brain, not my heart, and I'm actually going with the Patriots.
What?
The Jets are one of the worst teams in the league, so
Why?
can't go with that. Well, one day you'll learn. Next game, we have the 49ers going across country to Philadelphia, taking on the Eagles. Who you getting in this one?
So I said in this one, I said the 49ers because this one was also tough for me because the Eagles won one and also the 49ers won one. So for this one, I went off of the scores from last week with the 49ers getting 41 and the Eagles getting 32. So I decided 49ers because I'm going with that. I'm using my brain, not my heart.
You know, on this one, I'm going to agree with you with the 49ers taking this one, but Sue Laws is saying that Philadelphia is going to win. So we'll see. We're kind of a divided crew on this one. Next game, we have the Raiders going into Pittsburgh against the Steelers.
So, again, the Steelers won one and the Raiders won one. So, I, again, went with the scores. The Steelers getting 23, Raiders getting 33. So I went with the Raiders.
You went with the Raiders?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm going to go against you. I'm going to go with Steelers. Steelers are playing at home. There was a close pick on this one, but I don't think the Raiders are going to have it. Next game, we have the Saints going into Carolina against the Panthers.
Now, I went with Saints for one little reason. Let me find my Saints game. When it was Packers versus Saints, the Saints won by a long shot, being 38-3. So I decided to go with that. And with the Panthers only got 19 against the Jets. So I went with Saints because they did really good last week.
You know, and I'm going to go with the Saints as well. I don't think there's anything that's going to really help the Panthers this year.
Yeah.
And another game in off of the East Coast, we have Denver traveling to Jacksonville. Who you got here?
I did the Broncos for Broncos winning with 27 points against the Rams, and then the Jaguars losing. So I went with Broncos.
Yeah, and on this one, I'm actually going to pick the Jaguars to win. I think Trevor Lawrence will have a breakout game against that Broncos defense and do some damage. Next, we're going to go down to the desert in Phoenix, Arizona actually, it's not Phoenix anymore. It's Glendale, Arizona, as Minnesota is traveling to face the Cardinals.
So this is one of my look at the scores one. It was I thought the Cardinals would win because with the Cardinals winning with 38 points to 13 with the Titans which Dad actually got wrong. He said it was
I
the
did.
Titans. And the Vikings, let me see here. What was the Vikings? Where's my Vikings thing? I just chose the Cardinals. I can't find.
And I'm going to pick the Cardinals on this one as well. They looked pretty impressive against the Titans, so I'm gonna choose them as well. Next up, we have Atlanta going to Tampa with Falcons versus Bucks. Who you taking?
So this one was pretty easy because Falcons lost and Buccaneers won, so I went with the Buccaneers.
And I'm going to go with the Buccaneers as well. In probably the easiest pick of the week that we had the Cowboys versus the Chargers. And
It was
tell us why you picked the
Chargers.
Chargers.
Cowboys suck.
Okay.
I've learned that from my parents. Cowboys suck.
Well, and life.
Yeah.
And did you know that in 1995 the Cowboys had 5 Super Bowl championships up to that point?
When did the NFL start?
I'm not exactly sure, but they've won 5 Super Bowls, and that was in 95. And to this day, guess how many they've won more?
How many?
0.
Exactly.
So
They
there you
have
go.
lost good players.
Well, yeah. And just wanted to give a shout out to Jose and Virginia. Sorry, your
yeah.
Cowboys. But, we got to give our obligatory shout outs on that one. Up next is our game, the Titans versus Seahawks. Seahawks at home. And
Seahawks.
You're picking the Seahawks, are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to hear you say Titans because you
don't
said
worry.
Titans last time.
I
It's
am
the
saying the
Seahawks.
Seahawks. And Sue Laws is commenting in saying that's insane.
insane.
And, there you go.
That is insane.
In the Sunday night football game, we do have Mom's favorite team.
Yes,
Second
Chiefs
favorite team
at
taking on the Chiefs.
Ravens.
Chiefs at Ravens. Who you taking in this one?
The Chiefs.
You're taking the Chiefs. I'm actually going to pick the Chiefs as well. The Ravens have quite a few injuries, and
Yeah.
I don't think Lamar Jackson can get it done. And then in our last game, the Monday night football game, and we do have a couple of Chiefs and Mahomes shout outs there for
Yes.
that one. But in our Monday night football game, it is the Lions versus the Packers.
This one wasn't that hard. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, I chose Lions because the tough defeat with the Packers last week really set this off.
And I'm with Sue Laws and you on this one. I'm going to go with the Lions. Even though it is the Packers at home, I think they're in way too much turmoil with the whole Aaron Rodgers thing going on there. But Zane, that's going to do it for week 2 of Zane's NFL picks. We are going to hopefully do something new this coming week.
Yes.
And that'll be a wrap-up show on, I think it'll be tomorrow, where we're going to go over your results. Or not we, it might just be you on that one going over your results and how you do leading up to week 3. But any last thoughts as the games are about to kick off here in 20 minutes?
Cowboys suck. Patriots suck. And a lot of teams suck.
Okay. Well, we'll work on your vocabulary and get you some better words to say that teams aren't doing as well as they should be doing. But again, thanks for joining us on week 2 of Zane's NFL picks. Again, give us a like, subscribe. This is on my YouTube channel right now, but it will be broadcasted on Zane's gaming and more here in a few minutes. And until then, we will see you later.